It's time for The Scraphouse with Austen Lane and Casey Kuhrts on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Serious question.
Serious answer.
I like the sound of that. How frustrated?
That was me. So
Okay.
when I said serious answer, for some reason, 'cause it sounded like Siri. That's weird.
I was looking over here at Hamby's backpack. I'm like, bro.
No, I'm not going to say it again, but I said
Interesting.
bleeping answer, and that's what happened. Siri came on. Yeah, whatever. Okay.
Interesting. All right. Anyway, Scraphouse,
Yeah.
Sports X47 Network. Anyway, I do have a serious question.
I have an answer.
If you went to Monday Night Raw this past week in Sacramento,
Yes.
which, by the way, who was it that said? Oh, Logan Paul. I think he's onto something. You know, the people in Sacramento, not cool enough to live in LA, not smart enough to live in San Francisco. Who wants to live in Sacramento? Anyway,
I mean, hey, I'm just going to say I prefer like Northern California as opposed to Southern California. But that's just me.
but Sacramento.
It's part of Northern California, man. But go ahead.
All right.
What do you got?
Anyway,
How mad would I be?
how mad would you be if you spent your hard-earned dollar that you literally earn fighting people? That's how you
Sure.
earn your dollars.
Yeah.
How mad would you be if you spent the hard-earned dollar, you and Ronan,
Yep.
good seats, I'm not saying front row or anything crazy, but quality
Oh, I'm giving them quality seats now.
on the floor,
Yep.
6th, 7th row, whatever, trying to, be by the, where they walk out, walk in, that type of thing. How mad would you be if you spent a couple $100 on those tickets and saw the final Raw before WrestleMania and that was the show?
I would be a little irate just simply because I'm thinking, okay, obviously the Raw after WrestleMania is the one you want to be at,
Sure.
right? But you would think, okay,
before,
like we're on the road to WrestleMania. It got a little bumpy. We got a little detoured. Like, hey, you better pump the gas and like drive home these matches coming up because I got to be in tune to actually want to watch these things. So I would assume that the Raw before WrestleMania, I'm going to get some pretty crazy things. Not an hour of just video packages.
Yeah. Didn't even see Rhea Ripley, Io Sky,
Nah.
Bianca Belair.
Saw a great video package though, Casey.
Didn't see any of them
Saw a
live
great
in
video
person.
package. It's crazy, man.
At least you got to see Punk and Rollins and Roman there at the end. But
Yeah.
for a minute, I was losing hope.
I don't know, man. And listen, I'll have to
Cody
go back-
Rhodes.
I know. And I'll have to go back and watch like other Raws up into WrestleMania. But I was really surprised with just
It felt slow.
it felt a little flat. It felt like honestly, right now where I sit and we'll see how Friday goes, it doesn't feel like WrestleMania is this weekend.
I agree with that fully.
It does not feel like it.
Now, we will get someone Friday because John Cena is supposed to appear.
Well, I hope so.
So
It's the main event.
It's the main event of the main event. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. We'll get to Raw in a second. We'll also get to SmackDown, which I thought actually had some moments. We'll get to them in just a second. News on the internet, if you will. Sounds like Mariah May, potentially, maybe, sort of, kinda,
Yeah.
may join WWE when her AEW contract runs out in short order. Big fan. I like Mariah. We became Mariah May fans on the show.
Did. Yeah.
I am intrigued.
I'm intrigued as well. I mean, obviously, she starts in NXT. So
She was the AEW Women's Champion, though.
she starts in NXT? Or I don't know.
Let me ask you this.
This is my big question.
All right,
Go ahead.
Okay. Right now, as it stands, who would be better in the feud with Tiffany Stratton, Mariah May or Charlotte Flair?
Mariah May.
There you go.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put her on NXT.
And my question was going to be, if you were to elevate her right away to WWE, like how would you present her? Because I was just going to say, she almost feels like a Tiffany Stratton type. She almost feels like a Charlotte. Like I feel like we have too many girls under that like ilk.
I'd make her a heel.
Sure.
She's a good heel.
Yeah, she's like a psychotic heel. She's great. And I say that with respect to her character.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would present her in that way, and I would have her be interested in not Tiffany Stratton, more like Chelsea Green,
Okay.
Lyra Valkyria, one of
Okay.
those
Yeah, I could see that.
spots.
Yep.
I wouldn't put her with Tiffany because you're right. There's a lot of just
too much similarities. And
You get to
when we've seen it kind of go south with Charlotte Flair already. And yeah.
But I think she would be a quality heel that could very much hold her ground in WWE. I don't think she'd have to go to NXT. I really don't. And
I think too, if you're Triple H, you want to kind of drive it home to AEW, saying, "Hey, look, we got another one of yours," and elevate her right away. I'm intrigued. I mean, I like Mariah May a lot, man. I think she could be a star. Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be great.
You said you saw something that maybe more AEW.
So Nick Khan, I don't know what what like the show was or whatever, but he's saying he expects a lot more AEW wrestlers to come out the pipeline and join WWE. I would just say you got to be careful how many people you bring in because there's only so many roster spots and there's only so much airtime.
Ask Dragon Lee. Ask Apollo Crews.
Ask Vici.
Ask Vici is the actual answer. You may get packages on television.
You may get special packages. You may get 10-second squash matches, but don't last forever.
If you could take one person from AEW, not Toni Storm, because I don't think that would ever happen. Toni Storm's fine where she is. She was in WWE. It didn't work. They didn't present her this way. Yeah. They've hit 1,000% home run with Toni Storm. So I would say
she's probably the biggest export, I would say, and this is bigger than Cody Rhodes was and CM Punk. Well, CM Punk was big when he came over, but like,
but
just think of like the star potential of how they've elevated themselves. No one's better than Toni Storm.
Now, if she was willing to come back to WWE in the exact form, but outside of Toni Storm,
who would I bring over?
Who would you bring over?
See, it's funny because like obviously I want to say Will Ospreay, who I think is the best wrestler, but I don't think I would say him though, Casey, because like, what would he look like in WWE? You know, like he wouldn't be a champ. Like, I don't think he'd be a world champion.
I agree.
Like, so it's a great question. I mean, honestly, and I don't think his run's been for everybody. I would bring Moxley back just so there can be some kind of Shield thing again.
Interesting.
I'd bring Moxley back because I'm just not down with the Death Riders, and I like Moxley a lot, man. I have the Moxley T-shirts and everything. They lost me on that storyline.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah. What about you?
This is cheating 1A, 1B, but I really like the idea of Christian Cage in the exact role he's in AEW, and you put him with like Braun Breaker in his stable potentially.
Yeah.
And he's kind of running things.
Especially like on Netflix, where you can kind of get away with a little more. Yeah,
I kind of like that idea, but that's not really as a like. I don't really need to see him wrestle too.
No,
much.
You're just talking about as someone to push the envelope.
Put with a Braun Breaker and I don't know, somebody else, and then
I like that.
Strictly wrestling, I say go back to the well, Swerve Strickland.
Swerve, yeah,
but we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. Well, it's not going to be Swerve because apparently he has signed a long-term contract, but it may be Mariah May.
And he does not like Booker T either. So
yeah, he's not coming back. So anyway, that's some AEW talk early in the program. We go to SmackDown. I forget where it was, but it started early in the parking lot. Actually, did you see this?
I did see this. Yes.
You know what? When it first came across on Twitter, I was like, ugh. And then I watched it, and I was like, you know what? Dare I say the right move? You're not buying. You're not buying what I'm selling. Okay, what do you got?
I mean, no, I think... And can you tell people what you're referring to, first of all?
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
Tiffany Stratton showing up to work on SmackDown, very excited to get out of the car and acknowledge the fans. And then out of nowhere, Charlotte Flair with a little beatdown action in the parking lot while Tiffany was trying to get her stuff out of the car.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You're trying to pump the gas a little bit. I'm going to preface by saying, because this will carry on later in the show. I mean, listen, I guess it was something different, right? Because we've seen these intros now for a while where we're just kind of walking in and, it's like NBA, TV or whatever. Like, let's see what they're wearing. So it was great, but to me, it felt a little like, but of course. I think, and once again, we'll get into this a little bit when they have another confrontation. I think now you have so much, well, at least from my perspective, you have so much hype because of what was said between them, right? And I don't want to say it's awkward, but like it cut close to home for Charlotte Flair. So like there's the intrigue now. So, like, it almost seems like WWE said, you know what? We got it. That's what we needed. Maybe not the best like thing to celebrate, but we got it. So now let's put it in cruise control and like let's just kind of do like we always do and go from there. And that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not arguing that, but I don't hate it. And I think I got more on that when we get to later in the show.
You're trying to pump the gas. I get it.
You do what you got to do.
And they announced it here too. Charlotte Flair was sent home then, right? Isn't that? So this is why I thought, and this is another thing too. So it's like due to the recent, because they kept going back to the comments. Joe Tessitore.
They never showed it.
Correct. Due to the recent comments, though it's transpired, Tiffany Stratton will wrestle tonight, but Charlotte Flair's going home. And it's like...
Yeah, they're making it seem like it's Tiffany's fault.
Which is crazy. So that's like saying, hey, you got divorced 3 times. We'll see you later. Go home. Now I'm wondering, like, well, heaven forbid I get married again, get divorced. Is Dana White going to say, hey, Austin, we're all set? Like, how does that work? Why is Charlotte? And listen, we've been very like, we haven't been impressed with Charlotte.
We have not.
She's done things the wrong way.
A little wrong.
But to say she's the one getting sent home after what Tiffany said about her? What?
Yeah. It's goofy.
Okay.
It's a little goofy.
Okay.
But anyway, when we finally get inside the arena, Nick Aldis was upset after getting RKO'd. Here comes Randy Orton. Mm-hmm. And for a half second, I thought we were getting Nick Aldis and Randy Orton at WrestleMania.
Thought that as well, which I'm all set, I think.
I'm all set, I think, as well.
Yeah.
But then, not necessarily the hero you wanted, but maybe the hero you needed. Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
May have a WrestleMania moment with Randy Orton, who randomly came out during the first segment to let everybody know that Jacob Fatu was going to beat LA Knight. For no reason at all whatsoever. No one had mentioned LA Knight, but that's okay.
Yep.
Which then, of course, leads to Randy Orton getting attacked by Solo and Tama Tonga. Shout out to Randy Orton for getting the Tama Tonga line in there.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Yep. That was funny.
Leading LA Knight to come out and help Randy Orton, if you will, turning into a tag team match, which would be the main event of the evening. But as it stands, look like Randy Orton, Solo Sikoa, in or out?
Out.
Really?
Okay, here's why I'm out.
I like
because
Sikoa.
I like Solo Sikoa too, but there's been a wrestler the past couple weeks who I think has made a name for himself, who I think deserves the opportunity to go against Randy Orton.
Are you on the Carmelo Hayes thing?
No.
Okay, I saw the internet was on there.
No. I'm surprised you're not hyping this guy up more. Because, and once again, this is going to be more in Raw, but we'll get to that later. I think it's in Raw. Karrion Kross.
Oh, well, yeah.
Dude.
I like Karrion Kross.
But I'm saying, like, if you want to have an open challenge and have Karrion Kross. Because, dude, I'm not sure if you've seen it online. The universe is getting behind Karrion Kross.
I love Karrion Kross.
So do I. I do now. I was kind of like, whatever.
You were on the fence?
I was on the fence before. I'm all in now. Because in terms of character work, in terms of storytelling, there may be no wrestler right now better than Karrion Kross if you see what he's been doing. And his match with AJ Styles, we'll get to that later. But then his promo after that match. And by the way, he's from Las Vegas.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Huh. Actually, I think Solo's from Las Vegas too, believe it or not.
Okay, well, no, that's cool. And listen, I'm not hating on Solo at all, because I think Solo's great. We've both been Solo fans. But I think, like, I just have such a high thought right now and opinion of Karrion Kross where I'd rather see it go to him. But hopefully they can figure out something with... By the way, Karrion Kross is from New York City, so I was way off. Oh. Sorry about that. I don't know where I got Las Vegas.
It's better for the story if he's from Las Vegas.
Yeah, it'd be a lot better from the story. Yeah.
Maybe moved there when he was 1.
Maybe that's the case. Yeah, I could have sworn someone said that, but okay. Anyways,
that would be interesting. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. But at the moment, it looks like it may be Solo Sikoa. First match of the night, the women's tag team gauntlet match to see who will face Liv and Raquel. Starts with Lyra Valkyria, who I just want to remind you is a champion, and Bayley, and they started off with the Pure
Change It
Fusion Collect. I thought they were cooked after the Sonya Deville thing.
It's been a while, right?
Yeah, they haven't done anything.
Correct.
They brought him back out with the classic intro. They just cut a name off.
Yep.
They got squashed.
Yep.
Natalia and Maxine Dupree had
interesting combination.
So, did you catch what I caught here? For some reason, and I like Maxine Dupree. She is randomly over as crap.
Yeah, I know.
People were loving it.
Same. See, I like when I was watching that match, I'm like, Man, is Maxine Dupree is she really good that I missed out, or is the crowd just really backing her and it's almost like playing a trick on me? But she worked
good.
great. Yes.
Yeah. But
yes.
the crowd loves her. I didn't realize it was like that. I think I'd like to see her do more. But
same.
So I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Good for Maxine.
Yep.
But Maxine did cost them the match, unfortunately.
Yeah, I tried to do that sharpshooter. Come on, Maxine. It's not your thing.
We'll see where that goes.
Yep.
Hopefully somewhere because, she got a good pop. Who did not get a good pop was Carter and Chance.
Yeah,
Who do cool stuff. I stand by that. Like, their tag team work is great.
Their skill set for that match was
gnarly.
I haven't seen a lot of those things before, so that was cool. But now, once again, when I think is Caden Carter. Yeah, so when Caden Carter's 4'11".
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's tough. They lose. This one I can only assume they were looking for humans in the back. B-Fab and Meechin. No feet were eat.
No,
that night.
No eat the feet.
Lyra, Valkyria, and Bailey, who have never teamed together, are just running roughshod through it. And then the Secret Hervis. And I thought for a second that somehow, some way, Chelsea Green's cabinet was going to get a WrestleMania match, and Chelsea Green was not.
I know. It was wild.
And I was like, hold on a second.
I'm going to need Piper Niven to stay out the second rope. It didn't work out for her twice.
I don't know what happened with Piper Niven in the whole thing, but from the beginning, she looked like she was just a step slow.
Yeah.
Even on the duo moves they were doing,
and she's usually the one that's kind of leading everything.
I know. It was weird. I give her a pass. I mean,
sure.
But all that to be said, the team that started it in Lyra and Bailey will go to WrestleMania and face Liv and Raquel for the tag team titles. I do want to once again remind you, Lyra Valkyria is a current champion and carries a belt.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Is it the most predictable match of all time where Liv and Raquel retain? Or is Lyra Valkyria about to be a double champ?
Was Liv Morgan double champ?
Recently?
Yeah.
No,
she wasn't. She lost
She lost first.
Yeah. I don't think so, man. Of all people, you're going to have Lyra Valkyria be the double champ?
So it's just a waste of time is what I'm hearing?
Well, I'll be honest. I feel like this elimination, the gauntlet thing was kind of a waste of time, too. Because be honest, when Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler came in from the Pure Change It Collective, did you think they were going to win?
I did not.
Did you think Natalya and Maxine Dupree were going to win?
I did not.
You think Caden Carter and Katana Chance were going to win?
I did not.
Do you think B-Fab and Miss Eat Defeat Twerking were going to win?
I also did not.
Now, I thought maybe the Secret Hervis at the last one.
I thought there was a chance.
There was a chance.
No.
But
where did all the women's tag teams go, by the way? There was a ton.
Thing. It was
they all got fired.
You had them, but then all of a sudden, hey, let's just put them in the gauntlet match and we'll showcase them for a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
This is why, But nevertheless, I don't think Bailey and Valkyria.
Is this all for Bailey to turn on Lyra?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. Whatever.
I mean, what do you want me to say?
I nothing. I knew what you were going to say. I knew what the answer was.
I feel like I'm breaking your heart here. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Goofy.
No, Bailey, and then you're going to have Lyra Valkyria be one of the first double champs, I feel ever with the...
And hear me out on this. I feel like Lyra could have just had a championship match at WrestleMania.
This is what I don't understand.
Neither her or Chelsea Green have a match.
I know.
Maybe they should go against each other. Somebody's going to be double champ. Chelsea just shows up to work on Friday pissed.
Yeah.
Where's Lyra Valkyria? What?
Yeah. I don't know, man. The Bailey Valkyria thing, I don't know.
Yeah. It's confusing.
Yep.
Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre will be a street fight at WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre talked his smack. Damian Priest came out. Did not work out well for Damian Priest. Drew McIntyre flattened him on the steel steps, which probably doesn't bode well for Drew at WrestleMania.
Also doesn't have the eye patch anymore.
No more eye patch he can see.
There we go. Yep.
That's good.
Yep.
Good for him.
2-eye McIntyre. It could be dangerous.
Could be dangerous, but in any big time match, he never gets to win. So probably put your money on Priest. DIY losing their minds in the back about if their shoulders were up or whatnot. Your boys making an appearance. I actually didn't know that was them because they had clothes on there.
Not showing that chest hair. Yeah.
Yep. So DIY, they got to figure that out. When they finally started to wrestle again, it was Rey Fenix and Berto, which quality.
Yeah.
Berto was good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, listen, this was a great match. And, I think this is kind of a cool thing with Phoenix being in the WWE that we can kind of get to see Berto do his thing a little more because let's be honest, man, Berto's kind of been lost in the sauce a little bit. But this is kind of his chance to shine a little bit. I thought it was a great match.
Hear me out.
Listening.
Berto may potentially be better than both Penta and Rey Fenix.
Wow. Just from the skill set in the ring?
Yes. If we would just let him wrestle.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing he has, and I don't think you're wrong. I mean,
he may be. I haven't seen enough to know that for sure. But what I do know
we haven't seen
is
him on a consistent basis.
the fact that they keep forcing the other two, which I know why they are, makes me like I watched that match and I was like, yeah, Rey Fenix does some cool stuff. Don't get me wrong. I could never even try. But I was more impressed with Berto.
Well, here's the thing. Like, did Rey Fenix shine in this match? Well, yes. But why did he shine? Because Berto kept up with him.
That's a good point. It's a great point, actually.
Not everybody can keep up with Rey Fenix. Like, go back to some of his matches against in the tag team when it was Penta against some of the other wrestlers and see like how many of them actually kept up with Rey Fenix. Like the Bucks did, sure.
Yeah, but
like, you know, I think it was when it was like Private Party, like when it was Scissors. Who are the Scissors? Man, I'm you know, Scissor Me Daddy. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah, Max Caster.
I do
know
exactly
yeah.
what you're saying.
Okay, but like, whatever. But like, I feel like very few guys can keep up with Rey Fenix, and I think with flying colors, I feel like Berto did.
Agreed.
Yeah,
agreed fully. He loses though to Rey Fenix. So. CM Punk, Paul Heyman, big long package. Interviews from like 2012. That was cool.
That was cool. I wasn't mad about that. I mean, that was a package that actually had some purpose.
Yes, some meaning that people care about.
Correct.
So that was good. Quality stuff. Selena Vega, Chelsea Green. What happened there?
I don't know.
Chelsea wasn't paying attention.
But like everybody looked confused. Was that supposed to happen how it did?
There's no chance. None of even the ref was like. But first off, the ref did the right thing by counting her out. Because that would have been a major debacle if he didn't count 10.
Sure.
Because he's on 9 and she's not even paying attention. What was he supposed to do? You got to count 10. So I think that was executed correctly.
Yeah.
And I think the reaction kind of played out well.
Well,
because everyone was shocked. Chelsea was shocked.
Vega though.
Shocked.
Vega was like,
because her back's to it. She thought Chelsea was in the ring.
Yeah.
Now here's where the problem plays in. And Tessitore said it. Vega should get a championship opportunity.
I know.
Now, granted, if they were going that way anyway, then okay, you just got there kind of differently.
But
like if Vega was going to pin her,
yeah, sure.
Then whatever.
And maybe I don't know if they had to. Because I'm trying to think what happened to everything before that. Like, did something run like a little longer? Were they worried about time?
No, I just think Chelsea screwed up. That's
okay.
What I think. She was too busy. She was yelling at Wade Barrett.
Or
Tessitore. I mean.
Tessitore. Yeah.
Because Wade Barrett was like, "Shut up."
Yeah.
To Tessitore. And Tessitore was yelling back. Like the whole thing got goofy.
And now you can bring this in where Chelsea, like, you know, obviously like goes after Tessitore and like makes his life a living hell. Yeah. So there's storyline there. But no, it was.
I don't think it was
weird.
Like
no,
that.
hell no. Because look at Vega's face when she got the win. She was just like, it wasn't supposed to be like that.
So I don't know what that means.
Well, I'll tell you what it means. Like, you got to have her wrestle for the belt. Like, she just beat the champ.
Yeah. Good for Selena Vega.
Yeah.
By the way, I think she's all right. I don't mind Selena Vega. Zero pop.
Let me ask you this. Do they need to pull her away from the LWO and let her do her own thing or go with Aleister Black when he comes?
I think they're kind of doing that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I guess. Yeah. I just think it's hard to go against Chelsea Green because everybody loves her.
True. Yeah, she's a fan fave.
Like, you're kind of, even if you're not like a heavy heel, which, in fairness, there's not that many heavy heels in the women's division besides Liv, who wants to be a heel, but everybody, you know, loves Liv, and then Charlotte. So, yeah, weird moment there. Cody Rhodes brings out all of the title belts, including the spinner belt.
Yeah, that was interesting to see. A little nostalgia there playing out.
Yeah, that was something.
Yep.
And talk smack for a while.
Yep.
In Seattle, that's where they were. I remember it now because he referenced Seattle.
You're right.
So we saw Cody doing his thing. No John Cena.
I liked it though. I mean, for having John Cena, I thought it was a great promo.
Cody's doing his part.
It was a great promo by Cody.
Cody can't do anything else than what he's doing.
Yep.
Tiffany Stratton, Roxanne Perez. Okay.
Sure.
For a minute there, I was like, Roxanne's doing it.
Well, yeah, and did they kind of like? I get you got to like showcase Roxanne Perez, who's a great wrestler in her own right, but like we're literally right away from WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Do we really need to make Tiffany Stratton weak at all?
Nope, should have been a squash.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been Roxanne Perez, and it should have been a squash. It wasn't. Roxanne almost got her multiple times. Tiffany finally gets the win. Things are going well. And then I couldn't believe it. I was told, I was bamboozled, that Charlotte Flair went home.
Well, yeah, she had 3 divorces. She had to go home, I guess.
She had to go home to nobody, apparently. And, I mean, that's kind of the point of this whole thing. And as it turns out, she didn't leave, and nobody knew. And Charlotte Flair, which I think, again, listen, it may be corny. You may not have liked it. They're finally achieving something 1 week before. They're making Charlotte the mega heel, whether she likes it or not.
Well, yeah,
she's attacking her, making Tiffany the face, making her look just terrible and the worst. Getting Wade Barrett involved in that way made people actually. I saw people on Twitter thinking it was like legitimate, like Wade Barrett was stepping in to help.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? They're doing their job now. All of a sudden, this. I think they've kind of salvaged it. You can't obviously salvage, the double interview thing that happened a couple weeks ago.
That's tattooed in my brain forever, Casey.
Yeah, that's foul. But at least you're going to try and finish strong. And I respect it. Because there's really nothing else you can do. You've established they can't talk to each other.
This is true.
So I don't know what you do Friday. Maybe have Tiffany come out
live on the show? Yeah.
And talk and do a package of Charlotte, and that's it.
It'll just be a promo. Because what else are you going to do? Like, you're not going to have a contract signing.
Nope.
They can't handle the microphone. You're not going to have him get in the ring and just talk again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll see what happens. LA Knight, Randy Orton, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga for nothing. Just a tag team match, I forgot. Yeah. Which eventually ends up with just... Where did... Orton and Solo eventually go off and do their own thing. Just through the crowd and whatnot. Eventually leading to Jacob Fatu to come out, and SmackDown goes off the air with Jacob Fatu.
Somebody check on Wade Barrett's loins. I wrote down too, by the way.
Oh, that's
Mentioned his loins. How many times? Hey.
Tender loins or not tender loins, whatever you said.
Whatever, yeah. But
that's right.
He mentioned his loins like 10 times during the match. So
that is right. I forgot about the loins.
I'm not mad at it.
That's a good call.
And Joe Tessitore is just like...
This is foul.
I was calling college football games with professionalism.
I'm calling the national championship, and now I'm sitting next to Bad News Barrett.
I got Chelsea Green in my face. Yeah,
I love Wade Barrett though, man.
Oh, I know, dude. I love Tessitore and him.
It works. It's
works.
perfect.
Yeah.
But anyway, goes off the air. Jacob Fatu holding LA Knight's title over him. I think he licked it as well, which was odd. But that is how SmackDown went off the air from Seattle, Washington.
It should have had the close it off with a shot of Tonga just going right into the camera, like you had Jacob Fatu licking it, and then Tonga comes right in front of him, goes, that's it. Fade to black. Drive it home. I mean, he does it nonstop.
I guess
we don't know what is he okay? Why does he do that? Tonga, why is he?
Dude,
we never established what that means.
You really want to ask who's okay? Where is Tongaloa?
That's a good point.
Is he okay?
That's a good point.
Is he still on this earth with us?
That's a good point.
Or is he in eternal slumber? Where is Guy?
Just chilling and catering, man.
I mean,
by the way, just because you're hurt doesn't mean you can't walk out with your brother.
He sees his boys out there every week. He's like, I wish that was me.
Yeah.
Vinci's texting him like, this is how it starts. They started sending Kaiser and Gunther out without me. Look what happened.
We're going to see a Tongaloa package. And okay, he's coming back. And then all of a sudden,
oh, dude, if you see a Tongaloa package, it's over.
It's done.
If you haven't been on TV in 6 months and you get a package, you're screwed.
It's done.
Unless you're Charlotte Flair, I guess.
Yeah,
but
good point.
If you're Vici level, you're screwed. If they throw an Apollo Crews package out there, I'm just going to start calling headquarters and be like, don't do it. Don't you dare.
All right, let's get into Raw quick because we got to break down WrestleMania as well.
Raw from Sacramento. Gross.
Sacktown.
Gunther opens the show. Angry Gunther. There was a black tee under the jacket he was wearing.
Black tee under jacket Gunther. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Angry Gunther. Upset Gunther.
Oh, yeah.
Yelling at Michael Cole Gunther.
Yep.
Got the heat back, which is good. The heat's on him. Did what he have to do. Looks a little rattled by Jey Uso. This is super long-term storytelling because we're going since like November at this point.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm content. I think they're going to do a good job.
I'm good with it.
I'm
excited to see the entrance for Jey Uso, the crowd going absolutely ballistic when we start. I mean, yeah.
It's going to be gnarly.
Everything's there for a great match.
Yep. So no complaints there. Bianca Belair gets a package. Some complaints. Think you should probably see the human, but what do I know? First match of the night, Bayley and Liv Morgan, which was good, which was cooking. Liv Morgan, obviously. Nobody takes a bum like Liv Morgan. I stand by that.
You're not wrong.
And Bayley is obviously
surprisingly
very good as well.
for as much as of a face that Bayley is, Liv Morgan's still getting the chance to as well.
People love Liv.
People love Liv, as they should. I mean, the girl puts her body on the line every single match. Like, I don't think there hasn't been a wrestler, I think, Casey, the past year and some change that has elevated themselves more than Liv Morgan.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Absolutely. I agree with that fully. Bayley gets the win, but again, they did a bunch of gnarly stuff. I mean, it was quality. It was really, really quality, and hopefully the WrestleMania match is somewhat similar to that in tag team form. But we will see. Rhea Ripley, didn't see her, but she was on television, so that's cool. Nice little package for Rhea. Rey Mysterio, Julius Creed, and again, the Creeds, man.
Dude, they're athletic freaks.
They're good.
They're athletic freaks.
Creeds are good.
Like what we talk about, like how much of an athletic freak Jacob Fatu is. Julius Creed's right up there, man.
He's good.
Yeah.
He is good. I'm telling you, they got to do something with those boys. And
I know.
Just the whole thing. But instead of doing anything with them, El Grande Americano, ready for his WrestleMania match, makes an appearance to kind of get one up on Rey Mysterio after he gets the win over Julius Creed.
Yep.
The only way that this pays off to anything, in my opinion, is it can't be Chad Gable. I understand. Well, I understand that's impossible.
Well, especially after you saw his USA Wrestling tattoo in the back.
Somehow, some way, it can't be Chad Gable. That's all I'm saying. I don't know how they do it.
It
can't be him.
Casey, here's the thing. Like, this seems very Vince McMahon-ish booking than it does Triple H. Like, this is something that, to me, this is like Shorty G all over again.
Yeah.
Because what's the payoff going to be?
I'm telling you, I said this weeks ago. The payoff is going to be, I go back and find this. I said the payoff was going to be beating Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania to finally conquer the luchador problem that he had. But hear me out. It could have just been Chad Gable. Like, it didn't have to be.
That's what I'm saying. Because what's going to happen? He's going to beat Rey Mysterio. He takes off the mask. It was me the whole time.
I think so.
Well, no.
That's why I'm saying.
And the crowd goes mild.
It can't be. Somehow, some way, they got to switch humans. I don't know how. He's got to roll off the apron, and next thing you know, there's a different human.
Unless he has a twin brother, like in the Prestige. Spoiler alert.
How awesome would that be? How awesome. How great would it be if they don't? If it's just not him somehow. Somehow. He has a twin brother, same tattoo.
With the same tattoo?
They made him get it. I don't know. They paid him $50,000. He got the tattoo. I don't know. Somehow, some way, it's not him would be the ultimate payoff. Outside of that.
That's the only payoff.
Outside of that, there's nothing. Yeah.
All right.
Switch humans. Make it a casket match. Put him in a casket. Switch the caskets.
I mean, it is Las Vegas. You can assist some magic tricks.
It's not Chad Gable. It's actually Otis. Couldn't sniff that one out. War Raiders couldn't even show up. We got a package for them.
Yep.
Brutal. Then we got the New Day live and in person. I completely forgot they were having a match for the titles with the War Raiders.
As did I.
Big E's got to be involved, right? We're going back to the well here again.
I hope so, man. But like at this point, I feel like the luster's kind of died on the New Day. Like they had so much
the character.
I like the characters. They have more of an attitude, but like. See, my problem is, Casey, like, I think back to, we talked about this, I think, 2 weeks ago or last week. They were one of the biggest heels in the business for, like, a couple of weeks with how they treated Big E.
Gosh.
When Xavier Woods and Kofi went back and forth with their whole thing. I was like, where is this going? And then it's just
let it go.
It's kind of gotten stale, yeah.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, though.
They got the War Raiders.
But I hope Big E's involved some way.
You would think.
You just can't use him like you did and be like, oh, we're done with you. Come on.
Yeah, I would agree. AJ Styles carrying Cross.
If you really watched this match,
I did,
and you really like got in tuned to what the point of this match was, like Karrion Kross wasn't wrestling AJ Styles; he was trying to help him out. So much so where I almost brought a screenshot of it. And by the way, one other screenshot we didn't talk about, which I was going to send you. Going back a little bit, Karrion Kross and Drew McIntyre, when Drew McIntyre like put him by the steps, and Karrion Kross, instead of like closing your eyes like you're knocked out, was knocked out with his eyes open like this.
Yes.
Scared the crap out of me.
That was creepy.
Now, anyways, going back to the picture I was going to send you though, before AJ Styles hits the phenomenal forearm, Karrion Kross
hands behind the back,
looks at the camera, winks, and then has his hand behind the back.
Yeah, I saw that.
This is storytelling.
This is good.
This is compelling. This is good stuff. This needs to be pushed to the moon. This should be Randy Orton level like moment. Because once again, in case you know where I stand, all right, Karrion Kross for a while, I'm like, okay, whatever. He's with the Authors of Pain and everything.
They fired his squad and he's cooking.
This dude, but you called it before though with his like the stuff with the Miz, where yes, you did the whole Miz stuff when it was like the Twitter videos and all that.
Yep.
And then you watch this match of how it went down, great. And then he posted a video on Twitter talking about like what this means, what beating Logan Paul means. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It's worth a watch. It's worth one take. Fantastic.
A couple minutes of your time. It's worth it.
Push Karrion Kross is all I'm going to say. Great match.
Love
great storytelling.
He was great in the match.
It's different.
Too.
Yeah. Zero complaints. Great in the match. Great storytelling. I'm intrigued. I want to see what happens next.
He dominated so much, and back to your storytelling, like in my opinion, he dominated to the point where it was obvious he gave himself up.
Yeah.
Genius.
I know.
But do something.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I'll give you this. I don't know what.
Well, here's the thing.
What do you do?
Is this going to be a Wyatt thing? Like, is he going to be part of the Wyatt Six? Is he going to, I don't know.
Is this all to be with Logan Paul?
I don't know.
Hyping up AJ Styles just to lose?
Yeah. I have no idea.
I don't know.
Well, you know what's going to happen here?
Different things.
Like, I think Logan Paul gets the best AJ Styles.
Sure.
So then I think Karrion Kross like goes like berserk and like becomes unhinged, and then we have like an unhinged Karrion Kross.
I like that.
And you know what?
Let's see.
I'm all for it.
We'll see what happens.
But like, I think Karrion Kross should be in the levels of like LA fighting LA Knight or like I don't know, man. I just think he's doing great work. I think the fans are finally behind him. You can't lose.
I agree.
He has size. He has the look. He's got the mic skills. He has the storytelling. He's got the in-ring work now. He's got a great manager who's aesthetically pleasing. What more do you want? Push him.
Yeah, I'm with all that.
All right.
I am with all of that. So yeah, AJ Styles gets the win. Logan Paul comes out reacting to the crowds, calling him trash, and I was like, you know what, Logan, you might be onto something here.
By the way, best finisher too in the game, I think.
Oh my goodness,
Looks
I don't
good.
understand how they don't get hurt.
Look, yeah.
It's
looks
gnarly.
good.
It is gnarly.
Looks
There's
good.
a moment where people are floating.
I know.
Oh, it's so good.
Smooth.
So good. Can't wait till he hits it at WrestleMania 1, 2, 3. Logan Paul. Jey Uso made his presence felt in Sacramento. Black jacket Jey Uso is kind of tough.
I liked it.
It's kind of tough.
I liked it.
He was looking at Gunther's wardrobe and said, I could go black tee with a jacket.
You know, I appreciate it because we're used to seeing Jey Uso be this flashy guy and everything with the This is casual. This is about the business.
This is business Jey Uso.
This is business Jey Uso, and I like it.
And, you know,
And the crowd went nuts.
Pretty much did what Gunther did earlier in the night, but at least they were able to show up to work. Can't state that enough. Show up to work. Braun Breaker showed up to work, was getting interviewed by Kathy Kelly, I believe, and just jumped in the back by the Judgment Day. Unfair to Braun Breaker. Looked like Braun Breaker may be potentially hurt holding that shoulder as we went to commercial break. Coming back with Finn Balor in a match against Penta, which, as you may expect, did not see a finish as the Judgment Day got involved. And then Braun Breaker, back from the dead, came out, got involved. Carlito thought he was seeing a ghost when he saw Braun Breaker at the end of that ramp. He said, I'm going to
not making that same mistake twice.
But then he got double speared. How about that?
Yeah.
The double spear. Obviously, all of this setting up for the match, but with the four of them outside of Carlito, Carlito's got to feel a little left out.
A little bit. At
WrestleMania. I guess I'm in. I wish Dom would have played more of a part in the setup. I still think Dom is winning.
So this feels a little more AEW to me than it does WWE. Where, like, is there really a story here, Casey? I mean, like, yeah, that they've teased things.
The story is Finn and Dom if they turn on each other. That's the only story.
I know. But you have a juggernaut, which is Braun Breaker, who is an afterthought. And guess what? He shouldn't be an afterthought of anything. Look at the spear he had to Carlito.
Killed him.
Get him a mic, please, and please?
Put him with Christian Cage, bro.
Put Christian Cage, I know, right?
You're cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I'm at. EO Sky couldn't show up to work. We'll take a video package Holy crap, dude. I mean, just nobody could show up to work? Do the planes not work anymore?
I don't know, man.
Because some people made it to work.
Great package, though. Great effects. Yeah.
Bianca Belair didn't see you. Rhea Ripley didn't see you.
Yeah.
Io Sky didn't see you. I'd be asking for a refund if I was in that audience. Brutal. Roman Reigns made his appearance. Thank goodness for showing up to work because really saved the show.
Yeah.
And asked Paul Heyman why, Paul. Why would you do that to me?
Yep.
Did not take the microphone from Paul Heyman. Said, I'll get one myself.
Mm-hmm.
Roman not happy at the situation. He was less happy to see Seth Rollins interrupt his time. Seth Rollins, in a, I won't say Shield-inspired fit, but looked kind of like Shield Seth Rollins.
Yep.
If you're on the internet, looked like Dwayne The Rock Johnson from a couple of years ago, depending on how you feel.
Correct. He's been rocking a lot of Dwayne The Rock Johnson attire lately these past couple weeks.
Depending on how you feel about that.
If you want to connect the dots.
If you want to connect some dots there. But Seth on his same promo that he's been on for the last couple of weeks, we got to save wrestling. We got to stop, or I got to stop CM Punk. You should have let me kill CM Punk. You suck too, by the way. He got some of those in. Eventually leading to them to beefing a little bit. Roman, I guess actually Roman gets the first shot, and after puts Seth on the ground, shoves Paul Heyman.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
That was a nice touch. I mean, it added then to it a little bit, right?
Oh yeah,
and
which responded CM Punk to come out. Obviously.
Then CM Punk comes out. Yes.
Ending with Seth Rollins hitting Roman Reigns Shield style with a chair, a stomp to Punk, and the lasting memory.
Seth Rollins standing tall.
Is Seth Rollins standing tall?
And they alluded to this too in the commentary in the broadcast. This mirrors what happened with the Shield.
Exactly.
Where he was the guy that took out Roman Reigns, and then at the time it would have been Dean Ambrose. I mean, is this storytelling or not? Because people, and once again, if you have been following along,
feels too random to be. I mean, feels too accurate to be random, right?
Correct. Yeah, because if you've been following along, Seth Rollins now has dressed as The Rock the past couple of times in terms of like the attire that he used to wear. And then if you want to look into it even more, it was essentially a Shield like recap of what happened all those years ago, where Seth Rollins turned on Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, and then what happened after that. Seth Rollins joined, like, you know, the evil empire, if you will.
Yeah.
Well, one could make a guess right now that the evil empire might be John Cena and The Rock. So,
here we go.
take it for all you want.
Could be something.
And what do you think the favor is going to be?
The Seth Rollins favor?
Yeah, or you're not going to...
I think they're going to move away from that.
Okay.
I would...
Yeah.
The
What if it's like all next year, like the Raw after Mania is just going to be a bunch of favors? Like everyone's got to cash in on favors.
I hope not.
Yeah, I hope not either.
I strongly, strongly hope not.
Yep.
All right. And that is how it was left. One more SmackDown before WrestleMania, which will be Friday. We will not be here Friday. So
No, of course not.
Well, I mean, technically, I guess we will be here Friday.
Well, I mean,
just at a different time.
yeah, we'll be around, but we won't be doing a show Friday.
So, WrestleMania predictions. We've made it up to this point. I couldn't agree more with what you said earlier. It does not feel like the week of WrestleMania, but here we are. Night 1, the card starts with Jey Uso and Gunther
Starts, huh?
for the World Heavyweight Championship. Las Vegas, Nevada. Who's walking out to the World Heavyweight Champion? Starts the night.
The main reason why Jey Uso got this spot was because of his entrance, because of how the crowd embraced him.
Fair.
If you're starting WrestleMania out
That's fair.
with Jey Uso and Gunther, you're trying to start it off with a bang, and you're trying to carry that momentum for the next 2 nights. The only way you carry that momentum is if Jey Uso wins. Jey Uso beats Gunther for the title.
I agree. I agree with that. I think Jey Uso gets it done. I will say this. Close second is Gunther squashes him.
Man.
Less than 5 minutes.
But could you imagine the air just deflating?
It'd be
I
shocking.
mean, people already see Raiders games there enough. Now you want
That's fair.
to subject them through Jey Uso getting squashed?
That's my close second, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Close second. I think
That'd
Jay
be-
gets it done only because of what I think is going to happen
Yeah.
later.
We'll get into
and I
that.
think
Yep.
that's how they'll do that. But if he lost in 5 minutes, I'd be like, yeah, I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
Because boy, would Gunther be the ultimate heel,
Yep.
the ultimate piece of crap.
Yep.
Because then you're like, who is good enough to dethrone Gunther? Like, it's a
Correct.
whole different story
Correct.
that I think is intriguing. And really, it may be the better story because what's the story if Jey Uso wins?
But what was the whole point of Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble and all this stuff then? You know, like,
To get squashed.
if that's the case, then Gunther is going to be unstoppable.
What do you do with Gunther if he loses?
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Okay. Vici.
Put him-
That's what I said to Vici
Well,
too.
you know what's going to happen? It's going to be white tee Gunther, and we're all just going to, it's going to be white tee and jeans Gunther.
Oh, not Cowboy Gunther.
Cowboy Gunther.
We can't.
Working man dipping the lip Gunther.
I can't stand.
What happens if he
working
comes
man
out with a
Gunther.
dip and he's got like the tin in his like a pocket, right? Oh,
I'll
Casey.
write a letter.
I'll write
Just
a
like I was
letter.
writing to those inmates. I'm going to write one to Triple H.
Let's
I'm like,
get it.
dude, you screwed up.
Yep.
World Tag Team Championships, the War Raiders and you boys. New Day. What you got?
I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Does Big E come in and does he cost him, or do we keep on telling this story with Big E for a while? I feel like there's not a lot of like enthusiasm on this match. I'm gonna say the New Day.
I'm also going to say the New Day.
Man, we're on the same page right now, Casey.
Yeah, I
Yep.
like the New Day here.
Yep.
And just be a good quality heel. I like that.
Yeah.
Jade Cargill and Naomi.
Jade.
Gotta be Jade.
Gotta be Jade.
Gotta be Jade. Or else,
Gotta be
what
Jade.
was it for?
Gotta be Jade.
Got to be Jade. Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano. What's the payoff?
Listen, if Chad Gable or Grande Americano doesn't win, then what the hell was I subjected to for the past 4 months?
Not fair. I'll give you that.
I'm not saying the payoff's going to be great, but it better be something. Chad Gable.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I'll go Chad Gable. United States Championship. LA Knight. Jacob Fatu.
This one, I think, is the biggest coin flip so far we've gone over.
Agreed.
Well, let me hear your thoughts first, Casey. I'm still thinking about this one.
I think it's kind of undeniable that you have to go Jacob Fatu. I really do.
Yeah.
Because he's clearly so good. You want to tell this story with Solo, that he's good enough to go on his own. You really don't know what's going to happen in terms of the triple threat. What is Roman Reigns' story going to be? Are you going back to telling the Bloodline story? Because this is a major part of it. LA Knight, they found out that he continued to have pop when he didn't have the title. So I don't think you necessarily have to have him have the title.
Sure.
So I think all the signs point to Jacob Fatu winning.
Yeah, I just think no one's going to help LA Knight.
Correct.
Like, he's on his own. And that's what we're talking about, and what we've seen from Jacob Fatu. Like, how can you not put the belt on him? And then this is probably going to lead to a story of, you know, maybe Jacob Fatu being the leader of the Bloodline. Maybe Solo Sikoa joins Roman Reigns again. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Can go a million directions. But I think in order to go those directions, you got to put the belt on Jacob Fatu, so I have him winning as well.
We got like 4 minutes.
Okay.
Tiffany Stratton, Charlotte Flair.
I think it's going to be Charlotte Flair.
As do I.
Man,
They
we're on the
have
same
to.
page. Yeah.
They have to. Or
have to.
else, what was it for?
What was it for? What are we talking about if Charlotte loses this? How do you come back from that? I don't care what your last name is.
You don't come back from that.
It's got to be Charlotte Flair.
It's got to be Charlotte Flair.
And I think they shake hands at the end. Like, Tiffany
Interesting.
gets her respect, whatever. Like, they squash it.
CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins.
I want to say CM Punk here.
Too obvious.
Too obvious. I'm going to go with the least obvious one, I think. I think Roman, because we forget it's Roman
know.
Reigns, dude.
I agree.
It's Roman Reigns, right?
Yeah, I think it's Roman Reigns as well.
I'm going to go Roman Reigns. You're going Roman. Man, we're on the same page on all this, but I do. I think Punk's way too obvious for the first night. What are we talking about? CM Punk finally got his moment? Nah, we're talking about, I can't believe that happened.
If they open with Jey Uso, they're not closing with Punk winning as well.
Correct.
Night 2. Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. What's it for?
What's it for? I think it's for Bianca Belair to turn heel and win the championship.
So do I.
Dude, I mean, we do a show together. We're going to have the same
That's
opinions somewhat. Yeah.
Braun Breaker, Penta, Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio.
I hope it's Braun Breaker.
I actually don't. That's my guy.
Really?
Let's do something else. Braun Breaker
Well,
goes after Jey Uso.
Okay.
Both faces.
Well, if this is the case, so if you're asking what my prediction is going to be, I think Braun Breaker is the obvious choice.
Mm-hmm.
I think Penta's going to get it.
I'm going Dominic Mysterio. I'm standing by that.
Okay. You don't think him and Finn Balor are going to have it out and all of a sudden that's going to be a whole thing?
I do, but I still think Dom gets it done,
wins
which
it.
makes Finn even more mad.
Gotcha. Okay.
You got to do something with Dom. He's too good.
Yeah, but he doesn't need a belt, does he?
I mean, no, but also, would it kill him to like have him on TV and wrestle somebody
listen, I feel
instead
you.
of standing there?
I feel
like,
you.
Yeah.
I just think this is going to be a middle finger to AEW, and Penta wins it.
I'd be slightly annoyed.
Yeah.
AJ Styles, Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
Time.
Yeah.
The second to last match of WrestleMania, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez.
Really?
I think it's quick. I think that's what that means.
Yeah.
Oh, I skipped one. I'm dumb. But it's still before Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre.
Oh, I'm going to say Drew here.
I hope so.
Are you taking Drew?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then it is Bayley, Lyra Valkyria, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez.
Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez.
I think it's a squash. I think it's quick.
Yeah.
John Cena, Cody Rhodes.
We talked about this, Casey. You're going to start off with a bang, and you're going to end in a shocker. I got John Cena.
I'm standing by what I said earlier. Wasn't on the show. John, you talked me into it. John Cena gets the win.
Yep.
Because of a slight referee distraction by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson,
Mm-hmm.
leading to a Seth Rollins stomp to Cody Rhodes. 1-2 attitude adjustment. 1-2-3. It's over. Cena's the champ. Everyone's looking at Rollins. Cody comes to. He's like, "What?" Stomps him again.
Yep.
And we got Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes.
That's storytelling right there. Seth Rollins helped Cody Rhodes win at WrestleMania last year. Now he's going to cost him this year.
There it is.
That's being a visionary for everybody.
WrestleMania this weekend. We may talk to you. We may not. But if we don't, we'll see you next Wednesday.
See ya.
Scraphouse out.